everybody? I'm Jay the Kid. That's LC from 773.
Yo,
Our boys, Visionary and Bray John couldn't join us today, but it's a two-man podcast today. And this is pretty much another episode of Four Ropes Full Podcast. I am in bed today just because, you know what? I figured why not just lay back today and just chill. LC, how you doing today, G?
can't complain, broski. We got some stuff coming out.
Let's just put you
Everybody be on
solo
the
on
lookout.
cam. Put you solo on this cam here.
You know,
That is one of
yeah,
the first official Four Ropes Full merchandise. And we do have a winner for you guys. Our winner
yes, sir.
is Michelle Marshke. Michelle,
That was
we'll be in
all.
touch here shortly on getting you that sweatshirt and everything. So congratulations on being our winner. And that road to 100, well, that deadline to 100 will be coming shortly to where we'll be giving out another free thing. Maybe it might be a Four Ropes Full book bag. Who knows? Who knows, man? Who
Hey,
knows?
stay posted. Stay posted. We got some stuff coming for sure.
Exactly. You know, LC, I was going to save it for the end of the podcast, but you know what? I'm not going to do it just because it's you and me here. I got a video of, this person saying something about a certain match in a certain championship. Take a look. Much as I love Naomi and I think Naomi deserves like that one moment,
Hmm.
I personally think just because I thought about it yesterday and I thought to myself, who are some women who have went everywhere and done the job that they were supposed to do? And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's either Michin or it's Chelsea Green for me personally. Booyah, niggas! I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I
I
told
get it to
you
you. I get it
niggas
to you.
so. I told you. You. I told all you niggas. That's all I wanted to say.
Hey, out of the main four that we all said for sure, they all made it to the final.
Exactly. I said it would have had to be me
That was
Chin,
the
or it
important
would have had
part.
to be. It had to be me Chin. It had to be fucking Chelsea Green. Why? Because I just
Like
said it.
especially when Naomi doing tag team right now.
Yeah, like she doing shit with Bailey and then Bianca and this love triangle shit. Like, you got fucking Tiffany Stratton being the side puppet to fucking Nia Jax. You got all of this shit happening. So the fact that you were able to show these motherfuckers went from dumpster match to the inaugural United States Championship, Women's United States Championship,
Hey,
and let's
only
just put
right.
that photo up one more time. Chelsea fucking Green with the belt, because I'm sorry, Chelsea Green with the Women's United States Championships makes more sense than putting a Bailey, putting a Sasha, putting anybody who is not a mid card type of fucking player. And that's what Chelsea Green and
And it's
Michin
not
is.
a it's not a knock on them having to be in that position, but you have to wrestle somewhere on the card.
Exactly.
And it's like you either gonna open the show, work during the middle of the show, which is mid card, or you gonna close the show out. But in order to go from opening that shit or doing fucking pre-show work, you got to get to that next step. So this is necessary. Thank you. We see
Exactly.
what you're doing. Here you go. Take off with this. Put some prestige on it, cause they could for sure keep the belt on her for shit years, and
However
I don't
long
think
they want
anybody
to.
would complain about that shit
Like
at
Chelsea
all.
Green
Especially
career
seeing as
could
how we
be,
got we got two. We got the United States and we got the Intercontinental for the women's now.
like, if
It's
Chelsea
only
can
right.
hold on to those two belts and shit like that, the women's Intercontinental, the women's United States Championship, if she end up being like maybe a 3-time women's United States champion, a 2-time women's Intercontinental champion, while also being a 2-time women's tag champion, She already got a place in the record books. She made history as being in the
Right,
first. And I give Triple H credit for one
right.
thing.
She already in that book for sure.
I
She
give
already
Triple
in
H
that
his.
book, and it's like, yeah.
I
And
don't know.
I
I
was just
think.
looking at something that they had brought up when it was Jade, and at that time I forgot what she was going by, but Chelsea Green. They've been doing they've been doing right by them, but everybody was complaining when AEW had brought in the women's title, then the TBS title, then ROH being a sub brand now. It's like you can't really complain about that because they still promoting their women superstar pro wrestlers do either way. So it's like shit. Before that, everybody was just complaining about fucking bra and panty matches. So I'm glad we're
Yeah.
not at that point anymore.
Yeah, I'm glad we took that out of wrestling. Women
Yeah,
doing bra and
that's
penny matches and shit like that. Like the fact that they made a video game mode for bra and panty
where
matches.
that's the game mode. Yes,
Legit.
you gotta strip your opponent butt naked, basically.
Butterball ass naked basically. I
Like
think
I
it was
wonder what the
SmackDown
fuck
versus Raw
creative was in the room
2006.
talking about that day.
It's just like they was
I
like, you
just
know
want to know
what?
what they were saying to each other.
They was like, you know what? Make sure y'all got matching sets. Make sure y'all got a matching pair of panties and a matching bra and go meet out in the ring. I'll tell y'all what y'all doing shortly. That's what the fuck was
Especially with
told.
mocap.
It's just like, but I will give Triple H his due credit just because Triple H didn't let that match go the first match of the night. He let that shit soak on and shit like that because then we're waiting on Me Chin and we're waiting on Chelsea Green. We have to wait to see who's gonna be the
Oh yeah,
first
for
woman.
sure.
And I give Triple H his full flowers for that, just because when Seth Rollins and AJ Styles had the match for the inaugural World Heavyweight Championship when they brought that back, nobody thought that them niggas was gonna be the first. Nobody thought they was gonna be the first matchup, and the fact that they was, that shit's crazy. Like that's real dope for Triple H for the women's mid card championship. But the only thing I don't fully know how I feel about that all the way is just because like now are y'all gonna just do an inaugural women's intercontinental championship match on this main event thing? Because now we know that we're getting another main event. Like we're getting another
Yeah.
Saturday night main event. So it's just like, how does this play in with all of this other shit? Like now we got four main staple shows now. Is it going to be Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and Saturday Night Live? I mean, yeah, Saturday Night
Which I
main
kind
event.
of feel like they kind of missed a few spots with not having certain matches on that card. Even if it didn't make sense to not have the match, I kind of feel like the whole rankings thing doesn't make sense for them anymore. It's like they don't really do that. It's if you in a feud, you're gonna have a match.
Hey,
So
did
I mean that kind of separates the whole like all right, we know who in the running for the title, but shit, they may not get a match for the next 5 6 years. And by then you can kind of fell off that person from being all right. That's who I want to see in the ring for a while.
exactly. And something that I was gonna ask Visionary, but Chris, I'm gonna ask you because me and Hannah was having this conversation while I was setting up this crib and shit. And she told me, I remember watching main event or like some type of show, and I was like, main event. I was like, they did a Saturday night main event in a minute, and then she showed me a picture of WWE's main event. Do you remember that shit? Cause I don't remember it
Yeah,
at all. You remember it?
yeah. It was like a little. It's essentially what they do with Level Up on NXT. That's what main event was.
Ah, so it's
But it
kind of like WWE
was a
Superstars.
lot of good fucking wrestling on it though.
Was it kind of like Superstars and shit like that? Like, was it something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. It was kind of
Okay.
like Superstars. I
Okay, so it
forgot
was like
about
a
that one
side.
too.
Okay, so it's like a
Yeah,
side. It was like the side show where they can put
yeah, but
anybody
it
on
was
that
just like
motherfucker.
pure wrestling, a couple promos at best, but it was mainly wrestling.
Okay, okay. Because I definitely
Yeah,
did not remember that shit. I'm not gonna. I
right.
ain't gonna hold you. Like I told her, like she showed me the poster for that motherfucker, and I ain't even remember it.
Yeah,
Like I was
it was
like
so
I
fucking
blocked that
long
shit out of my
ago, but
mind.
yeah, I mean, it's still they still got the little ring and everything set up on 2K and stuff. You know, they keep the little callbacks going. Yeah,
Okay,
I
okay.
had to go through that damn game mode.
All right, all right. Well, Chris, this is what we gonna have you doing today. Okay. So we are going to have you blind ranking shocking wrestler moments. Okay. So here, I gotta go grab the laptop real quick. But on the laptop, I got a few questions. I got a few situations of scenarios of wrestling shocking moments, and we pretty much just gonna have you rank them 1 through 6, I believe. So let me hold on. Let me just go grab that real quick.
Something for the pod to see for right now.
Whew. Sorry about that, y'all. Huh. Your boy is back. But take a look at LC from 773 Juice World Custom. That is probably gonna be one of.
Oh yeah, I snuck it in there.
Ah, nah, nah. Hey man, go
Get them
ahead,
a
put
little
that motherfucker
preview
up.
for right now.
Hey, you just showing them what the
Yeah,
hell we got going on. Hell, I ain't got nothing against it.
that is just a little something for right now.
Trying to tell you, we got some shit coming up, boys. Y'all better not mess up. Y'all better not tweak on it. But Chris, are you ready?
Yeah, let's get it.
All right. So the first one we have Seth Rollins turning on the Shield.
I say Seth Rollins turning on the Shield for me, as far as what's currently going on with wrestling right now. That was a moment that set things on a completely different trajectory. So
Where you putting
I
that?
want to say, depending on, because them got 6 different things, so it's 5 other things outside of this. I'm gonna go with number 3.
Number three. Okay, okay.
No, no, no. Number 2. Number 2. Number 2.
Number two. Okay.
Yeah, it's talked about one of the most.
All right. Tommaso turns on Johnny.
Number 3 for sure.
Okay.
Saw that shit live.
Okay, okay. Stone Cold makes a deal with the devil.
That's Attitude Era. Anybody that knows pro wrestling knows that was that moment where it was like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? I'll put Stone Cold up there as number 1. I'll give him number 1.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. And then we got Undertaker streak over the 21 and
Oh
1.
fuck! I gotta switch that. Number 1. I
That's
gotta switch that. That was no. I gotta switch
usually we don't
that.
let a nigga do number ones,
Undertaker
but you
Street.
know, yep, Undertaker streak, nigga. That is what you put on the back burner.
That's number 1.
That's number
Yeah.
one. That's number one. You see,
If you would have
that
led with his streak, I instantly would have been able to do that
nigga.
completely different.
Why would I do that?
I'm glad that you waited held that one for last. But yeah,
Oh
that
yeah,
that
nigga, you
was
know I was going. You
yeah
knew I had to,
yeah.
nigga. I couldn't just
The
put that
streak.
motherfucker in one. Shit,
Watching that live,
nigga. When I
like
saw that,
first time really paying for a WrestleMania and everything, trying to see like, all right, am I gonna really get into it? Watch the whole show, and
was
as
mad
soon
as
as we got
hell.
to the match, I'm okay. He gonna probably, it was gonna probably be a false finish. I didn't expect Brock to actually pin.
I
Thought he could. submission and no tap out, but they call it saying like he's out.
Yeah, he definitely called
No,
an audible. I don't know.
that called the audible like a mother.
Brock Lesnar's still on my list for that shit. Even if it
Hey,
wasn't his idea.
somebody got to do it.
Shit.
Can't win
Nobody
forever.
Shit. Nobody had to do it. Shit. Hell, Bruno San Martino didn't lose his shit for 8 years. All of a sudden
But
Undertaker gotta
after
lose his
that eight
shit.
years,
Fuck out of here. And then they gave that
after
nigga
those
another
eight
ring.
years, it was like, hey, I don't think anybody would be able to pull off a Bruno unless you just have a company where it's only like two people signed and the other person just not doing anything as far as in that company. But even then, I don't see anybody holding the belt right now for that long. And if well, it may be someone that's currently holding the belt longer than that in a different brand that nobody really heard of.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I can see it.
Another thing I want to talk about from Saturday Night Main Event. Well, I guess two things before we get into the next segment. I want to talk about Jesse Ventura, the dumbest shit ever.
It's the
Respectfully,
bar.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Respectfully, I like Jesse Ventura. You know, he's from that golden era wrestling and shit like that. Y'all know I don't fuck with the golden era at all. I don't fuck
I
with
was
the
gonna
Hulk
say
Hogan.
if you've
I don't
ever
fuck with.
watched the show, you know about the golden era. Read the bio. Go to
This is
our
what I think
original
about.
post.
This is what I think about your golden era wrestling. I don't care about eating vitamins. I don't give a fuck about your prayers. I don't give a fuck about your Ultimate Warrior. I don't. Respectfully. Because now y'all tried to shit on us. We shitting back on y'all. We done with this golden era shit. I don't care. I don't, Hulk Hogan couldn't go on 73 different presses in Africa saying how much he loved black kids. It's still fuck you. Respectfully.
We ain't even gonna talk about Hulk Hogan.
But anywho, Jesse Ventura, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought that nigga was drunk the whole time. Just because it's like he had like the most like he legit tried like it was the most cringiest shit ever. Like he was like I think Pat McAfee was telling him about, oh, you know, I fuck with you, you know, your jacket, the snake skin and shit like that. And he tried
Mm.
like for 3 minutes to set up this fucking joke about it being Jake the Snake Roberts fucking Snake Damien. Like
I caught that shit.
You could see Michael Cole trying to move on from the shit, but he was like, "Yeah, it's Damien, it's Damien, it's Damien, it's Damien." Nigga, don't nobody care, bro. Like, come on, bro. Let's get to this shit. Like, I get it, you know, all of the old
I mean,
motherfuckers
hey,
who are like
AEW
60 are happy
reference,
feet.
.
Like, I'm cool with that, but
Yeah,
at the same time, like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, come on now. Like, besides that though, it's cool to get a second, like, you know, the old school commentators talking with the former, well, the present and then the future and Pat McAfee. That's cool and all. I fuck with that, but it's like, why? What's the point of him trying so hard to push that joke on? Like, bruh, you're not funny.
I mean,
Motherfuckers might have laughed at you
they
when you
look
was
at
on the
it
box
like,
TV.
all right, but that's how a new green person would never be able to do.
It's just like it
So
makes no sense.
yeah,
And then
it's probably even telling them like, all right, go ahead, like hey, fuck it, I'm gonna get my joke out.
like that's cool and all, but like nigga, like you realize we on a 2 hour show and you wanted to spend 5 minutes of it trying to make yourself seem funny to the crowd. Nigga, don't nobody care, bruh. Like I get it. Like people
You
fuck
got them
with you.
WWE diehards.
You
They
got
look
the
at it like, oh,
diehards who are
yeah,
over 50. If you're over
literally.
50, you love Jesse Ventura. If you are my age, which I am 25, the nigga ain't been in wrestling for real since I was born. Why the fuck do y'all think, oh, this was just nostalgia for every fucking body? You know what you get? If you really want nostalgia with some shit, bring back Jerry the King Lawler. Let Jerry the King Lawler do that. Make him talking this shit to Michael Cole and then goddamn Pat McAfee joining in on that shit. That shit would have been funny. That shit would have got you some money. But no, you didn't.
Hey,
Y'all brought
they
Jesse
they had to get
Ventura.
somebody back from that show era of
Fuck,
Saturday nights.
man, fuck out of here.
I guess he was the biggest face during that time. It's like personally, I don't really recall any of his history.
I
And I
don't.
mean, I know a bit here and there, but I can honestly say like that's one name that never really came up in discussion. It's
I could
like,
say
oh,
like, you know,
I can talk to the superstar Billy Graham all day. I can talk Dusty Rhodes all day. I can talk literally $1 million Man from him all the way down to his son. Even though controversy wise, but still, I know some of pretty much that, even down to like Harley Race, and that's well past our fucking era. But you know, I can't say I'm a journalist and I don't do that type of studying. So I kind of got into it well before it was time for me to really understand what pro wrestling was. It's like, yeah, we don't use that fucking F word, but yeah,
mm,
pretty much you got some people that use that terminology with you.
facts.
And shit, even when we've been to like certain seminars and stuff like that, all they say at the end of that shit, protect the business.
Fuck out of here. Protect the business. Here's the thing
Yep.
about that. That thing of protect the business, protecting the business versus just being a normal fucking person, that's cool. It's like it's only like John Cena can be Super Cena in the ring, but be the most generous and nicest nigga in the world when you meet him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The
You've
the
seen
things
several
that
different
it
things out of
doesn't,
him.
the thing that doesn't work and shit like that is it's like having these like Undertaker and shit like that. He hid his kayfabe for multiple years on end. He might have did his little, nice shit on the side or whatever, but you never seen Undertaker for real, out and about. It depends on the character you have that if that shit is gonna work. Just because if you think to yourself, I think even though my character is a dark motherfucker, I am finna go out there and I am going to go just sit out there with my daughter and play around and shit like that. That's when people gonna be like, oh, okay, he got this little moniker or whatever, and then people ain't gonna take you serious in the wrestling world. But if you just some buff nigga that say I beat you up, I can kick your ass, that's the type of person who can go out there and still do this type of stuff. But if you got this evil shit like say Leo Rush, like you brought it up, that Lionheart shit,
Oh, the Black Heart.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Blackheart shit. You remember how you was
yeah.
telling me about it? Like you was telling me that about goddamn him doing that shit. And I was like, you know what? That might be something interesting. That might be something, interesting. And then I actually got a chance to see it. And all I could think to myself is, there's no way in hell he could live that gimmick outside of wrestling,
Oh
outside of a
no.
wrestling ring. You can't walk around with a heart around your goddamn neck, your face painted, and basically
Probably if he
live a
was in New
gimmick.
Orleans. If
Maybe.
he was in Louisiana, he probably could do that. But shit,
Probably.
no. Even then, it's like shit. But that's what separates the whole sports entertainment aspect from pro wrestling. Some people look at pro wrestling like, can you be yourself inside and outside of the ring? Like
Mm-hmm.
Ethan Page, for example. He one of the first YouTubers I was really like watching, and it's funny because like calling him a YouTuber, even though I was watching pro wrestling well before that. It's like I caught wind of him same time I caught wind of Josh Alexander when they was tagged as the North. So seeing him do pretty much same shit that I like outside of that, being in the ring, it was like, oh damn, he's a normal person, but he's himself inside and outside of the ring. Whether he
Agreed.
has to be face or heel, he still has part of himself in that. Like he calls himself literally all ego. It's right there in the fucking name.
100%.
It's
I agree.
nothing
I
that you
ain't
can
gonna lie
really
to you.
change about him
Ethan
personally,
Page has low
but
key been growing on me as a motherfucker. Like his goddamn Iron Survivor challenge shit.
oh yeah,
Nick caught my attention. I ain't even gonna hold you. Nick, like
oh yeah.
he's he's what I call, I would say, the possible future of the business. But the one thing I'm concerned about is how he will be used. How he will be used in the upcoming future. Not saying he needs it. He needs like a certain direction to be pushed, but like I don't know what the ceiling is for Ethan Page, but I also don't know what they have on the floor for him either.
Yeah, which is like the disconnect on some things because he already showed you he can hold a main title. NXT, I don't look at it as a secondary brand because it's actually it has its own essence. Like it's his own fucking energy. You can actually feel the difference between NXT, SmackDown, and Raw. You know the main difference between all that shit. But at
Agreed.
the same time, you could see that it's more of a okay, who's next in line to show that they can be something in this company. And then you put the title on him to see if he, tried and true. Damn near, yeah, literally what, his first match in?
Mm-hmm.
And he held the belt. He showed he could do it. Like, they talk, shit about his time in AEW and everything, but everything is more, it's a business. It's a stepping stone. Shit.
Agreed.
Jay told us last time, it's a business. You got to be able to work no matter the situation and go about it the best way so you can actually do something in there. You got to make a name wherever you stop at. So, in order to do that, you got to stay fucking consistent.
Exactly. Also, all of this shit is staying in the video too. All of the
But,
adjustment and the editing that I'm doing, all of this is gonna stay in the pod. Like I'm gonna
oh
edit
yeah,
this motherfucker around a little bit, but all of this is gonna be in the pod. By the way, my movement since all this shit, this is gonna be in. This is just a 2-man podcast. I ain't gotta make this shit look perfect today. We we
nah,
just we
this a
gonna go
quick
for
look.
it.
Go ahead.
Exactly. So next though, we are going to get into Chris blind ranking WWE championships. Now, at first I thought to myself, we could do all WWE championships, but where's the fun in that?
No fun. I don't like doing all WWE stuff all day.
It's like
Can't do that.
respectfully, like I love WWE, don't get me wrong, but there's some other great championships out there. Not saying there won't be a good amount of WWE shit, but there's going to be a
Yeah,
few more.
yeah.
So
It's the
we are
most
going
well known.
we,
Respectfully,
exactly.
in the
So
states.
me and LC from 773, I will be putting a championship up on the board and he is going to rank it. We got 10 belts and we are going to start with the ECW World Championship.
Well, you know how I feel about ECW.
You know how you feel
That's
about
thankfully
WWE
not
CW.
that. That's not the WWE ECW, but that look like that's after 90. So
This is like
that's not the purple, but it's the red. What's that scale again?
it's 1 through 10, gang. It's 1 through 10. You got to find a spot for this motherfucker.
Let's say 5.
You going to say 5? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
5.
Okay, okay.
Because my favorite
So,
might actually be on this list. Yeah.
next
So
we
is
got
one
the
great or is 10?
yep,
10's
1
the
through 10.
greatest.
Yep, 10 is the best. And
Okay, gotcha.
right here is the TNA
10
World
tag
Tag
team.
Team Championships. Personally, hot take, one of my favorite tag team belts of all time. Second,
For sure.
second, second to the I think the Raw version of the tag team championships. Not that shit Finn Balor and them got, but
No,
the
no, no.
one a little bit
We
before it.
talking like O2. Yeah. I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah.
Yep,
I
that's the
honestly
one.
have to say, I would have to say probably like, probably number 4 for me on the list.
Okay, okay.
Simply because, I mean, Machine Guns held those. I'm pretty much
Beer
seeing a lot
money.
of my up and coming tag teams hold that belt
Cause
and
I know
go
who the
on to
fuck
do some
made
pretty
this
decent
shit.
stuff in the company.
Yeah, nah. Beer Money holding these belts. The Hardys
Oh yeah.
holding these
Can't forget
belts.
about Beer Money. James Storms, Bobby Roode, underrated for
Very
sure.
underrated tag team. I think
I
when it
wanted to
come down
definitely
to it,
see them versus like FTR. That would have been like a prime ass, a great ass show.
facts. Now, no disrespect to James Storm and his other tag team partner. I forgot what did the motherfuckers call themselves.
They was America's Most Wanted. They were
Yeah,
also pretty
yeah.
decent.
Like they was a great tag team. Like you can't. Like I ain't
Yeah,
gonna
but
disgrace them.
I wanted the once I caught wind of TNA, I wanted to see him and Bobby Roode. So it was just fitting that that happened pretty much after the whole NWA TNA thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. So now we are going to switch it up, and we are going to go with Big Gold.
Big gold,
Big
big
Gold.
gold. You already know how I feel about Big Gold, so I don't even really got to get the people's a statement on this one. But Sting held Big Gold, Booker T held Big Gold, and if this is original Big Gold, then pretty much, sadly, I believe David Arquette held Gold too. So
Exactly.
even though aside from that, I have to put Big Gold number 7.
Number
Yeah,
7. Ooh,
yeah, number 7.
that's a hot take. That's gonna be a hot take for some people. They ain't gonna like that one.
I don't give a damn. Big Gold is one of those. Batista, his amazing ass run.
Fair
Pretty
enough.
much before they start combining the belts in together.
Okay, okay. So we got the ECW belt at 5. We got the
Yep.
TNA Tag Team Championships at 4.
F4.
You got
Yep.
the World Heavyweight, the WCW version of the World Heavyweight title at 7. Next, Chris, is a belt that you and me are very familiar with in our childhood.
I can only imagine. Yes, sir. I was just thinking
SmackDown's
SmackDown
original
tag.
Tag Team Championship. Paul
You already
London and
know.
Brian Kendrick.
Yes, sir. I was just
Eminem,
gonna say
Eddie and Chavo,
it's only fitting.
Edge and Ray.
So I got four,
You put me
5, and 7. So I have to put. I'll say 6. Yeah,
6.
Philo's in there. Yeah, Philo's in there.
Okay, okay, okay. That's fair. That's
I can
fair.
only imagine what's going to be my number 1 and 2 is the worst two.
Let's just see what we got next. Next, we have the
The
Ring of Honor
ROH.
World
This
Television
current,
Champion. I don't know if this one is current.
yeah, that's current.
Oh, that
Yeah,
is the new
that's
logo,
that's the new logo. I mean,
and it's the women's.
I'm
By the way, it's the Women's Television Championship.
yeah. Okay, so with it being the women's, I could be a little bit more unbiased with it because if it was more the men's television, I like the completely different version of that one. But women's television is it's a little bit more pivotal, but I haven't really paid attention to it as much. Like I remember seeing I believe Billy Starks, she had the belt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if she was a Nargo champion or not, but I was watching her stuff and for a while caught a wind of it. Since then I haven't really been able to, get into it as much. So
Nah, I feel you. I feel you.
sadly it's
That's
gonna
fair.
be like number 2 on mine.
That's fair. That's fair. You know, the it's not bad. It's not a bad belt. Me
Yeah.
personally, I probably would put this like at like a 7, maybe. I probably would have put that where you put Big Gold at.
It's like I feel you on that. It's just I don't really got. I'm a nostalgia history. It got some prestige to it.
Mm-hmm. I ain't
You
mad
got to
at that.
hold some weight.
All right, all right, all right, bet. So now it is time for the next belt. And the next belt, we don't talk about this company much on this show, but I enjoy this belt. The
Oh,
IWGP Intercontinental Championship.
easily number 8.
What?
Nakamura had that belt. That was my first introduction to Nakamura, and I was like, "This mother, for real aura, him." New Japan, he he not only main evented with that belt, but he main evented over the IWGP World Heavyweight title while holding that belt.
Very true.
So it's only fitting that it got prestige and holds some weight to it. There's not too many other champions that can go on after essentially the person that's supposed to be the main event.
Okay, okay. All
Yep.
right. I
And
guess
for
we
the
can
for the
take that.
history kids, you'll know that this is what drove Naito to be who he is today, right now.
You know, that's fair. That's fair. I can't be too mad at that. But now we are going to go to
I got 1 in 10 left. Ooh,
X Division Impact
the Impact
Championship.
version.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since I only have 1 in 10 left, if this was the original X Division title that AJ held, Chris Daniels, Joe, it would easily be my number 10. But I'm only left with two options, so I would have to put this at number one. But I mean, I still give it some prestige. I believe Saban held it, Chris Bay, Ace Austin. Um, yeah, yeah, a few decent guys that I got a little bit more introduced to, and I think Mike Bailey also held that one for a long minute, if I'm not mistaken.
Mr. Speedball Mike Bailey.
Yes, sir.
He indeed did have this championship, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, I don't hate this belt. I personally remember the original OG belt way more.
Yeah,
Maybe that's just the nostalgia in me. I don't hate this belt. I probably would have gave this belt like maybe a 3. If we're
yeah,
talking about current. If we
right.
had
Like
current
if it was
belts,
like
like,
a current day situation, yeah, but I don't know. Certain versions of the belt is hard to replicate by blasting the big ass impact through the X. It kind of took away from the whole. It's its own thing. It's that even when what's his name, Austin Aries, he did option C.
mm-hmm.
You can pretty much use that as your other option. He popped in as suicide and won X Division damn cable match for that. So it was like he could do some different things with that.
Facts, facts. You know, another thing I want to talk about when it comes to this is the fact that low key, almost every version of the X Division title has always been kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie
Oh
to you.
yeah, for sure. I like that green and blue version they had for a while. I'm not against it. Even when they did the switch between the blue and the red, like I was still pretty cool with that.
Right, right.
That was a whole different thing to see.
All right. Well, so as a small recap, real quick, we have the ECW Championship at number 5. We got the World Tag Team Championship at 4.
Now, what's got to be my number 10?
We got the Women's ROH Championship. What do we put this? What did you put this at again?
Prestige, prestige, reason, purpose only for that one.
And you had that ranked where?
I believe number 2, number 3.
2. Okay, okay. And then we had Big Gold at 7, right?
Yeah, big old S7.
We had Big Gold at 7, and then we had the World Tag Team Championships at 8.
Yeah, definitely an 8.
Okay, okay. So we got 2 more belts left actually, because I think you're missing 3 and 1. Because I
I
got
think
these belts.
no, I think yeah. So
Let me see what we got here. I got one, two,
no,
three,
I think it was one left. I only had yeah, I only had one left.
Really? Okay, okay. Let's see. We got a championship. That funny backstory before I show this belt. Me and Chris used to make paper championships before we got the real deals. So this championship
This only
that I'm
fitting.
finna show you, it's it's only funny to me is because me and Chris spent 3 hours at a boys and girls club making this belt.
We wasn't even supposed to be there that damn long. I remember that.
Like,
That was more of a they had the arts and crafts, and we just had the mindset to craft it.
mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, number the WWE
Yes,
spinner belt.
sir.
The
I'm
WWE
honestly
spinner
I'm
belt.
okay with that being my number 10. It's a different belt because three of the main guys that held that belt during that time frame, the guy that introduced the belt, John Cena, obviously greatest of all time. Edge having the best heel run fucking ever while holding that belt.
The rated R spinner belt.
Having that,
Edge
yeah,
might
having
not
that
like
first
it.
change of it, it's like, yeah, it spins, but you can take away the essence of John Cena from the middle of that, and it could be his own character. Even when the Miz held it, he just
Upside
turned it
down
upside
John.
down. Yep. It's
Definitely
like,
what he
hey,
do.
it's a whole different way of going about doing a custom title that was mainly, fitted for John Cena, but now it could be for everybody. It's not just one person.
Very true. Very true. So now I want to get us started on one thing. And this one thing happens to be something that I personally think is going to be the most the most laid back part of the podcast that we're going to do. This is going to be our final segment. We are going to play over or under. This over or under game is going to be ranking. Well, not ranking. It basically us be. Well, Chris is going to need to take the over or under on these people's win percentage in wrestling. So, I got my list up and everything like that. And Chris is going to tell me over or under if this person has more or less wins or more or less losses than it is. Chris, over or under. Miz with 1,000 losses.
Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait. One more time.
The Miz, does the Miz have over or under 1,000 losses?
Over.
Correct, correct. The Miz,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah. I
Miz
know a little bit of
record
Miz
loss.
history.
The Miz has lost almost a total of 1,000 matches. Which Hall of Fame wise, like I don't think that's gonna really kill his chances of making the Hall of Fame.
No,
Honestly,
that just means that he's battle tested in a ring. He showed that he can get in the ring no matter whether it's gonna be a win or a loss. He'd rather learn from that experience.
right. So now that was just our sample run on exactly what we're gonna be doing. So we got pretty much this year's win loss records for every wrestler. Cody Rhodes over 90 wins. Over or under?
Over.
He has a total of 94 wins. Cody Rhodes has had
Yeah.
97 matches in WWE this year. He has lost 3.
That sounds about accurate. If you would have said, something else in that, I probably would have been like, yeah, but no, that's more accurate.
That
Seeing as how
motherfucker has
he's
won.
supposed to be booked as your champion's supposed to win more than they lose.
Exactly. Okay, okay. So now we got main event Jay Uso over or under 60 wins.
Over.
This is where I knew I would stump you at. It is under. Jay Uso has a total of
Ooh.
51 wins, 31 losses in
Ah, he
83
right there.
matches.
Yeah, he right there. He right there. I was gonna say he has way more than 40. I know watch several good shows. Like I know he got way more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So you know what? Let's choose a person that you wouldn't really expect for me to give you a name on. Tamatanga. Does Tamatanga have over or under 25 wins?
Seeing as how they've been booked, I will honestly say Tama will have to be under.
Okay. Tamatanga has had a total of 30 wins in WWE and
Oh,
12
look at that. He's
losses.
5 over. Look at that. Look at that.
Tamatanga has had a pretty good year in WWE.
Yeah. As I mean, well, without counting the tag team matches, essentially, if you're not taking the L,
Hmm.
yeah.
All right, all right. Let's see. We got another guy here. We have Rey Mysterio. Has Rey Mysterio won over 30 matches in WWE this year?
Yes. Over.
False.
Ah.
False. That nigga has only
Oh, what?
won
I'm at
20%.
two. I'm 2 and 3.
Yep.
Yeah, because who's just trying to mutilate him?
Who was that? Hmm.
Fuck.
Was
Well,
it
I mean,
Beckham?
outside of him and Dom, yeah, yeah, I believe they was just beefing pretty bad.
Huh.
No, LWO getting beef for somebody.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Um, Andrade. Has Andrade won more than 15 matches since being back in WWE? Over or under?
I believe he under. I don't think they really been show. Well, no, he would have to be over. Are we counting WWE speed? Because that count in this?
That counts.
I would have to say over.
You are correct.
Yeah,
Andrade
because
has
I'm
had
sure
a
like
total
he held
of
the belt.
21 wins and 17 losses.
Damn.
So,
I really hate seeing how they do it with certain stars that actually prosper on a different brand.
mm-hmm.
Because that's an unnecessary ass moment there. You could have just kept the NXT Cruiserweight title and just pushed it as its own thing with that, or it could have just been a Cruiserweight title across all brands. That
Very
way you could
true.
just showcase the other guys. That's what you're going to do with any mid card title anyway.
And you know, we're going to do two more on this. Our United States champion, Shinsuke Nakamura. Has Shinsuke had how many has Shinsuke had over or under 15 losses since leaving WWE and coming back for right now? Well, not leaving, but you know, having this little small
I
departure.
mean, small departure wise, I would have to say no because he haven't had too many matches.
Chris, Shinsuke Nakamura has lost 52 matches in 2024.
You said since he did this little excursion and came
Yes,
back.
since
Are
he
we talking about this recent one?
we talking about the entire 2024. We talking about when
Oh, the
he
entire
when he took
24,
them
of
ass
course.
whoopings,
Entire
left
2024.
and came back. The entire
Yeah.
year, Shinsuke has racked up 52 losses. Can you guess how many
I was
wins
gonna
he
say
had?
at least 50. But I was like, if you talking about just the recent excursion from when he
If we
just left
talking
and came
recent,
back, it was like yeah, they kind of slowed down on letting him have certain matches. But
if
I
we talking
mean,
recent,
so
Shinsuke before the excursions, Shinsuke had lost 50 matches. He left and came
damn,
back. Shinsuke has only won 4 matches this
yeah,
year. Just 4. And that is our United States champion. I don't got no problem with that. But 2025, I bet not see Shinsuke lose a motherfucking match. He better not
you know
lose
how I feel
at
about that whole
Mania,
situation.
anything.
He still should have took the title off of AJ.
I agree with you.
It's a lot of stuff, but I mean, hey, we are considered fantasy bookers, so it's more of a oh, it doesn't have a story to it. The story is the year before that he didn't get it. They match in Japan. Still, you got to put the belt on him somehow.
And I'm okay with
But
that. But it's just the
yeah,
fact of
they pulled the wrong trigger at the wrong time.
exactly.
Uh,
Now, does does Akira Tozawa have more or less than 5 wins in WWE this year?
More.
You're right. Akira Tozawa has 9 wins this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say he probably only had like 4 matches, but tag match wise, I know Otis probably won at least half the motherfuckers.
And then our
I know I
last
saw like
one.
1 or 2 highlights of him actually pinning somebody, and that was it.
hmm And our last one is our favorite hater, Drew McIntyre. Does Drew McIntyre have more wins or more losses in 2024?
More losses.
Drew McIntyre wins 17. Drew McIntyre's losses 29.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a reason right now that he's the most famous player hater of all time. You gotta actually give him some reason to hate. So actually losing, it's only more fitting, especially for this year. You bring everybody worst enemy back, and everybody just acting like they okay with it. It's like what the fuck? They not supposed to do anything to it. And you know how people gonna feel about Punk no matter what. They gonna say what they want to say, but he a draw. He could easily get on a mic and tell you about yourself quick as hell. Like if
Like a
we was to see
motherfucker.
a heel Cena, it would have been a way worse version than Punk ever would have been. But it's a reason we didn't go down that route. During that time, we was what PG era.
hmm PG and Cena was the goddamn god of WWE, basically.
Hey, he kept that shit together. He kept that shit together. While we was allowing Orton to run around, kick people in the head, we could have been having John Cena choking people out to death.
And hit niggas upside their heads with chains.
Oh yeah, all day long. It would have been way worse than the precursor thugonomics stuff.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, we are going to do something for our boys today just because they not here don't mean that they don't get to shine with us. We are going to do visionary stars of the week. I'm going to pick a female superstar of the week. Chris is going to pick a male superstar of the week, and then we are going to work as a team to figure out who is the best tag team. So, I'm going to go with my women's wrestler of the week,
You
and
already know who.
Soul from
Only
goddamn
fitted.
NXT. Soul Ruka from NXT, if I'm saying her name correctly, she
Yep.
had put on an absolute fire match at Deadline. She
Oh
did
yeah.
spots that made, everybody was like, Julia, um, you know, that one strong ass girl, and then was Stephanie in that match as well?
I believe so.
I,
But
I
you know,
don't
that's
fully
that's the
remember like
difference
that.
in it. Yeah,
But it's just like,
she had to. Yeah, she had to stand out.
it's
She
like
ain't had
she
no
did
choice.
the most excellent job for, even though she lost, all eyes was on her because
Oh yeah,
now, like now, you can give her the NXT North American Championship. You can give her that now because she has showed that she had her injury. She came back in and put on a star-studded event. Now, although I love me some Chelsea Green,
Mhm.
I don't personally see Chelsea Green match as being the inaugural champion versus this deadline match to where she needed to win and put out a stop. I can't just put that over. I love Chelsea Green. I'm happy that Chelsea Green won it. But
I feel you on that.
that soul catcher, that soul snatch, whatever the fuck she call that move, that shit is way better than unpretty her. Respectfully. Love the hell out of you, Chelsea
Yeah,
Green,
I
but
mean, I give it both a decent transition, but I feel you on that. I just hate that a lot of people didn't know what a Sasuke special was. You know,
mm-hmm,
a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, I never seen that before." It's like, you sure? You sure you never seen that before? And it's not to take away from it, but it's like don't be that dickhead in wrestling.
exactly. You might not remember it, but guess who remembers it? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Hidden Valley, motherfucker. This
I'm
is
just
exactly where you
saying.
go find it at.
But
And it's like, yeah, I could easily see her getting some time to like run around between certain companies, like how they been letting Tatum Paxley do. And it's like she actually could show you that she could work. You
very
allowing them
well.
to go like hone that skill over there back and forth. That's one good thing about the partnership because the people that may not have been able to go through that whole WWE system getting time to actually train with some other WWE superstars and talk backstage, talk to some different people. You got to be in the environment to actually understand what's going on there. So that's what kind of like separate everybody from each other, which is good. It's not too much of the same shit. You go everywhere else, and it's different. No matter where you go, it should be different.
Exactly. So who is the male superstar of the week for you?
Male superstar of the week would have to go to Kevin Owens.
Who else but Kevin Owens?
Who else but Kevin Owens? Prize fighter. I knew it was gonna be some shit when I saw the wing eagle pop up anyway.
Yeah,
And
but
I just
everybody pretty
like
much
all I
saw that
remember
shit
was
coming.
that original picture he had took with it. And then it was like it was so fitting that right after that he had posted that same picture and said mines. I was like, yeah,
Exactly.
that makes sense.
And it's
So
not
it's
even
like,
just that
yeah, you
too.
gonna have Cody show up with his undisputed title, but Kevin gonna show up with the Wing Eagle. So
Ooh,
it's more of a yeah, I could easily take that belt from you, but I don't want that piece of shit. I want this.
very true. Very true.
So you could easily play off that. Like, yeah, him and Triple H had words, but if you don't allow him to hold on to that belt, and he just coming out without anything worth taking, it's more of a pride fight at that situation. It's like, not give him a reason to actually take the belt from Cody. Because I mean, if you don't go down this route, who gonna take the belt off of Cody? You gonna come back around? It's gonna be Roman again, or it's gonna kill the momentum that KO has right now. Same shit that they did when he should have took it off of fucking Roman. It was only fitting. What?
4 different times, by
Hey,
the way. 4 different times he could have took
like
that bet off of Roman. But
so many times. I don't know
that's besides
why
the
not
point.
pull the trigger.
And then now we have to figure out a tag team. Now I'm gonna give out a tag team I think should be tag team of the week. You gonna give out one that you think?
I got an idea. I mean, Okay, look, we're gonna separate from WWE. It got to be any other team outside of WWE.
Oh, I got a team outside the WWE.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Who your team?
The team I have in mind is Private Party from AEW.
Oh, okay.
Private
It's
Party
funny you
from
say private
AEW.
party
Private Party from AEW just remind me of basically the Black Hardy Boys.
because
That's
that's
what they
what my
remind me
pick
of.
is. My pick was the Hardy Boys,
See,
literally.
I
And I
told you.
mean, for the time that they was over there at AEW, they actually had the time to
They
be
was
together,
buddies.
so it makes sense. Yeah.
Matt Hardy was
I'm
like
cool
they
with
manager
I'm
guy.
cool with that whole four group that they had.
Not like shit. Like hell, that can
We
be
should
our
just
tag
be able
team
to
of the
count that
week.
as one big group.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
we're gonna do. Private Party and the Hardy Boys are the same
yeah.
motherfucker to me. So yeah, that's
That
our
that
tag
that
team of
only
the week.
makes sense.
And see,
I was literally like, yeah, Hardy Boys.
see, and then we gonna get into Bray's moments of the week. Bray's moments of the week. My moment is being looking online and watching Kevin Owens hit that pile driver on Cody Rhodes.
Bro, Package Power Driver is a mean ass. Like anybody that watch ROH or ever seen ROH already know. Gotta shout him out. Shane motherfucking Taylor. Bro, Marcus Garvey driver, Brody King's Gonzo bomb, any of that shit. Especially the fucking Gonzo bomb. I can't wait to personally do that to one of y'all ass. We
Wait,
gonna have
wait,
one mean ass
wait,
fatal four way.
wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Why the fuck I got? Why the fuck I gotta
Somebody
take the
gotta
ass
take
whooping?
somebody gotta take my move.
Hey, you know what? I guess I could. I guess we could just,
And
I
that'll
can
be
take it.
payback for suplexing me from about two stories.
You know what? Fuck.
Forever traumatized.
You know what?
Tears.
Fuck all of that. Cause now we finna get into 20-minute wrestling rants. Just since you did that shit and we going back
I
down
got a
memory
perfect
lane.
one for you. I'm gonna let you go first on your part.
Okay, so since I'm gonna start on this 20-minute wrestling rant, I want to start it off with everything that Chris and I did in our childhood when it came to wrestling. Now, the story that Chris wants to relate to, there's actually two instances where the nigga was suplexed off of something very, very fucking high.
Oh,
The first
imagine surviving
instance,
that shit.
the first instance I love bringing up just because I thought it was a good idea and that shit backfired once my goddamn back hit the ground.
But that's how you know. You can never say that your brother bailed out on you because no matter, even if it seemed like it was a dumbass idea, I still went with that shit. I was
Chris
like, fuck
definitely
it. I'm
he
with
definitely
you.
like the thing about it is the shit that we was doing we was not scared to do. Like this wasn't no bro, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I don't know if
Hell
we should
no,
do
we
this.
played fucking WWE all day. Next thing you know, we outside trying the same shit. The do not try at home doesn't work as well as we thought.
Yeah, nah.
But
That as
yeah,
soon
we
as
tried the shit right after.
y'all told us don't do that shit, y'all told us all the injuries y'all got from doing it, we still went outside and did this. But
Especially when you came home with which one was that where you can create a finisher?
that was 2010.
Yeah, I remember when you came home with that shit. And he was like, "Bro, it's a new game mode." I was like, "Yeah, yeah." I think we pulled like two all nighters trying to just make characters. We did 100 fucking characters.
Might have been 3 cuz it was the summertime when we got that.
Yeah, yeah. I think they was dropping like all well like late August something like that.
But so, me and Chris as shorties, we used to take shit to the extreme. And it was one instance where we was playing King of the Slide. King of the Slide went, you gotta wrestle these niggas to get up to the slide. It was kinda like it was Money in the Bank before Money in the Bank. Which ain't that some
Yep,
shit? We
I
was
know,
doing
right?
Money in
No
the Bank before
royalties,
Money in the
nothing.
Bank. Like, that's besides the point though.
It was
So
way
me and
more fun
Chris
than a King of the Hill.
exactly. King of the Hill was the worst thing on my body ever. Even the wood chips, even this wood chip story I'm finna give y'all right now ain't as bad as goddamn King of the Slide. But me and Chris was sitting there wrestling at the top of this slide. I hit Chris with the big boot, and we end up getting on top of the goddamn thing. I wish I had a picture of a goddamn
I'm
slide to
trying to
show y'all.
sell my dead ass weight of 20, 30 fucking pounds.
And legit, I pick Chris up. We go to the top of this thing. I look down. There's only two options that we can do with this situation. I could suplex Chris off and we fall onto the slide, but there's a chance that Chris don't make it on the slide. And I gotta explain to OG that me and him was playing around and I accidentally fucked up his elbow or his shoulder blade or something because
Broke
something
my
was gonna break.
legs and some more shit probably.
Exactly.
And
So
this is before you even had me up for the fucking suplex, which was the funny part because I'm just looking straight down, like, all right, we finna go off this motherfucker. You probably finna Spanish fly or something. Normal, cool. We could just roll out. I'll sell it. Get the pin. Go ahead.
exactly.
No.
So the second option was we set up a thing of wood chips in a circle like a fucking igloo, thinking that me and Chris could fall off of this and be a little bit protected by the wood chips. So it's either fuck Chris up or we both possibly fuck each other up. I chose the safer option, what I thought. I get Chris, I pick this nigga up, and I put him over my head. This is a 10-year-old me, by the way. 10-year-old me, 10-year-old Chris. And I'm going to tell y'all the most fucked up part about that story that, I told this story a few times, but I never say why this is the most fucked up story. So me and Chris are up in the air, and I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna lean back, and we just gonna fall. We fell 7 feet in from the air, 7 feet from Grace, onto a thing of wood chips. And I tell you, I bounced off that motherfucker and went one way. Chris bumped off that motherfucker and went the other way. And when I tell you, all you could hear is, damn, ooh, oh, shit. Everybody
Entire
went over
back,
there.
everything.
When I
It's
tell you
like
our back was filled with wood chips, nigga, I swear to
hair,
God, like
full of fucking wood chips, everything.
it was wood chips in our pockets. How bad we fell down off that motherfucker.
I was like, that look, yeah. And we was right back doing that shit a week later.
And the most fucked up thing about it is that I realized about it that I forget to tell in this story. Nigga, it was Chris's birthday that we
Oh yeah,
did
for sure.
this.
For sure.
We
Just
did
got
this
the new
shit on
2K.
Chris's birthday.
It was time to play. Trying to get everything else going. I think that was when we I think yeah, we was still playing like the Nintendo 64 like at the start of that week and we was trying to figure out was we finna go to like what I think Ryan's was still out at that time, like the buffet. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
we
we was
definitely went
trying
to
to figure out if
Ryan's.
we was gonna go there or not.
Yeah,
And we was like, we're gonna go to the park and play first before, gotta go to the restaurant and shit.
when
That
I
turned into
tell you.
all right, now y'all gotta clean y'allself off and shit and sit down for a little while.
When I tell you, we went to Ryan's that night. But when I tell you, my back and my ass was on fire because of that moment. And it's fucked up because literally not even a week later, this nigga hit me with a. You know what? I'm gonna let Chris tell you exactly what happened. If he don't mention this story, it'll be the last story we mention on this podcast. But it's Chris's story time now.
I essentially was going for Ray's twisting Hurricane Rana when he hop on the back of your neck, spin around, go to the front.
Oh.
But what I forgot to do is tell my partner that I'm finna do that move. So when I jumped on his neck, he kind of went forward, so it kind of turned into essentially like a double fucking 450. And instead of us both landing responsibly, hands and feet. We land sideways on top of each other. My legs land on top of him, half of his body land on top of me, and it's like we went through a table, but it was more or less you just hit the fucking wood chips and nobody moved 2 minutes. Nobody was outside at this time, so we just decided it's a okay. We just gonna have to shake it off because we want to get in trouble again for doing the same exact shit. So
Cause we caught an ass whooping for the slide. I mean, for the goddamn wood chip thing. We caught an ass whooping. We was
it is
fucked up
only because
already,
people was outside.
and
You
everybody
only get in
snitched.
trouble
So
when other people see you.
exactly. And who I forgot whoever the fuck did that. I don't know who snitched, but y'all a hoe for that. I want y'all to know I ain't forget about that ass whooping. I caught an
That
ass
shit
whooping
to
for
come
my
back up in the
granny
future.
and from Chris's mama. We call ass whoopings for shit we had no control over at times too. But that's a whole different podcast.
Hey, that's
That's a whole different podcast. If
I'm gonna
Leak
have to
was
put that in
here,
the memoir.
if Leak was here, Leak could tell you we literally was. We thought we was WWE superstars.
Especially from that very first day. That's all it start with, you know. Like I get into that story another day on like how everybody pretty much met. That'll be the whole go ahead
Hmm.
on that. Because
That's
what they
gonna be a
don't
whole day.
realize is like we literally grew up with each other.
Exactly. Since I was a shorty, before these locks, before the fade or anything,
Right.
braids,
Damn near at our
white
kids' age right now.
white beater, legit white beater, and just some black shorts is all the fuck we would be having on because that's all the fuck we needed to go outside in. We damn near we would be outside in the rain doing wrestling shit.
I remember we shoveled the damn snow just to hoop.
I remember we did that stupid ass shit.
And then the next day it's no snow outside on the ground. But you
When
know
I
that's the dedication in that you don't really see 20, 30 kids outside like that no more.
mm-mm.
Shoveling snow just so they can hoop.
Y'all
Like
niggas
that
need to
shit
go back
rare.
outside. That's what the fuck y'all need to do.
Shit, even then outside it's wild as hell right now. I
Well,
mean
yeah, not
just
well, yeah. Like if it was back in the day when we was shorties and shit like that, it wasn't too much drama. But you know, it was some shit.
yeah.
But
Shorties that was our age at that point, right now, they got switches bigger than them.
trying to tell you, one of these young niggas called me Onk the other day. A few weeks back, I was like, ah, hell. I
But
was like,
that
damn,
shit
I don't
happened at
Onk
work. I
status.
was like, damn. But then I thought about it like, I got a whole tail. I am Unk at this point.
Like, yeah, I'm Onk. Onk ass is tired. Onk ass want to go to
Yeah,
sleep.
Unk ain't finna do none of that extra tweaking. It was like being a
Mhm.
retired crash out is the worst thing possible. Because if anybody hears a story about you, they trying to, you know, test you to see what's to that actual truth. It was
Exactly.
like, nah, like, yeah, you may see some video might pop up in the future of me slamming somebody on their neck, but just know I did it out of pure anger and they kind of caused it. I'm not going to attack you unless you cause me to attack you.
Pretty much, because honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you, we was some menaces because we wouldn't fight fair. We was not fighting with hands. We was
We
using
wasn't
wrestling
fighting
moves.
fair because we were getting jumped on every single day.
Oh yeah. I know it's a good amount of niggas tried to jump on us. Good amount of niggas failed.
Hey, that's the only that's what build that
Especially
bond. That's
especially the
what bring y'all
motherfuckers who
closer.
like one thing that made us that always made us mad is the motherfuckers that wanted to join us in wrestling but never knew how to like, soften they punches and shit.
Yeah,
So,
you got motherfuckers doing shoe punches, like bro, lighten your punch. But when I
right.
hit you back for real, it's a
Hmm.
that's why I say you give a receipt. If you give a receipt and they don't catch on to that receipt and they try to, do something else, so you're like, all right, now this got to turn into a real fight. That's
Exactly.
the downfall of it every time. It's like go watch wrestling before you try to play with the wrestlers.
Exactly. And the thing is about it is there's a story that Chris might not remember, But there was a moment to where I've only bought two white friends to the hood where I'm from. BMK and shit like that. If you know, you know.
If you know, you
BMK was
know.
full of niggas and it was full of parks. But there was a situation where I bought one white friend to the hood who loved wrestling. It's me outside, it's Malik outside, and it's my white friend. 20 minutes later comes Chris. Chris comes out of nowhere and like, hey, what's up? We wrestling and shit like that. Chris bought out his titles and shit like that. I went back in to go get my titles. So Chris and my white friend at the time, I won't say his name, but let's just say when I came back out, Chris and Malik was right next to him, but they were like hovered over him. And they like, bro, I don't know what happened, blah 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 blah. I'm like, bro, what happened? He said, and I quote, I kicked Chris in the nuts. So Chris, while they are play fighting again, he tries to, tack on Malik, and I guess he hit Malik a little stiff or whatever. And Chris hears Malik going, bro, calm down. You would have thought Chris was a Uso. The way Chris went upside this man's nose with a super kick. Clean, clean. Broke this man's nose with a super kick.
It's more of a you. If you try to intentionally injure somebody and you ain't expecting to get hit back, then you going about it completely wrong because you're going to get hit back way harder than you thought you were actually throwing out them punches.
Hmm.
But now it's more of a okay. Now our parents got to get involved because this is what you decided to do.
And the funniest part about it is we didn't even get in trouble for it. We didn't get in
Yeah.
trouble. And I laugh at it just because
I mean,
when
come on now.
that
Between
happened,
our parents, we weren't getting in trouble. We protected each other. That's all we were supposed to do out there.
and that's literally what she said. So literally, I had to go take him back to my place and have him sit there in my kitchen while he was bleeding from his nose. His mom comes to
Can't
get
bring
him.
everybody through.
His mom
No
comes to
new
get
friends,
him.
bro.
And Chris, like his mom is like upset and angry and shit like that. So I tell Chris, go get your mama. Leak, go get your sister. L- This is how I know Chris' mama is over here. She didn't enter the door, but Chris' mom like is a smaller woman, but like she got the most loudest voice in history.
Hey,
So
pure fire.
all you
You,
hear
you
coming
know
up
when
the
she
street,
come through.
all you hear coming up the street, that bitch said, "What?" I swear to God, I bullshit you not. I opened the door, I unlocked the motherfucker, I opened the door, and I immediately go sit right back down. All you hear is my white friend's mom go, "Who is that outside?" I said, "Oh, that's Chris' mom." And you could tell that she was nervous because she knew that it was gonna be some smoke if she said some wrong shit.
Yep.
So
Like, hey, go get your mama. Okay,
like
I
that's
got
like
you.
Chris was happy. Like Chris was happy. Like he obliged to it. Chris didn't be like, "Oh, please don't tell mama what I did." All right, bet. Chris went to
Hell
go get his
no.
mama. My friend's mom ended up going to say, like, how could y'all do this to my child? I sent him over here to have fun and everything like that. Chris
No, you
explains
sent
it.
your child over here to beat on my brothers.
Exactly. So it's like, she like, my son doesn't do anything, he's following, your son around and your son and their son, and I sent him here to have fun with Jesse. So I said we was having fun. I went to go grab a belt. They were play fighting and shit like that. Your son hit him too hard. And then he went over and went to go attack my boy Malik. And he was hitting him hard over the back. So my boy Chris hit your son with a super kick. Now it ain't my fault. Your son knew the rules. We play fight and we play aggressive. But at the same time, we also make sure that we play lightly
There's
enough to
levels
where
to it.
we ain't hurting each other. We are treating this
Oh
shit
yeah,
like
we
we actually professional
gotta get up
wrestlers.
and get back home later. And then we gotta explain why we got bruised ribs and some other shit. No, we're not doing all that.
And after she said all of that, she said all of that shit, and we explained ourselves. Chris mama look at me and she say, "The full story you just said, is that true?" I tell her yes. She look at Malik. Is that true? Yes. She look at Chris and said, "If you lie to me, I'ma pop the shit out you." Is this true what he just said?
The fact that you sound just like her saying that shit is insane.
It's the fact of yes. And then why the my white friend, she looked at him, she said, "Did you hit my son as hard as possible? I didn't think it would hurt." He didn't say anything. His mama didn't say anything. His mom
God
didn't be
damn
like,
it.
you don't talk to my son like that or anything. She shut the fuck up. She sat there and was like, "You know what? Let's see what happens." He said, "I didn't think I hit him that hard." Chris mom looks at that woman and says, "Kids will be kids, I guess. Your son hit my son, and then tried to go attack one of his brothers, and he got hit with a move. Your son need to realize that playing hard, that trying to play hard and shit like that, will get you fucked up in the wrong areas."
Hey,
She said, "So
anybody
you're
that
not
know
gonna."
my OG know that she understand pro wrestling. And with the last 45, I just gotta say one thing. Tessa Blanchard.
You know what? We don't even need the time frame for that. We can put a couple. We can give us a few more minutes on that.
Broski cut
Go
the
ahead.
time frame.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You know, I don't even care about that. Go fuck that time. Say what you got to say about Tessa Blanchard, because I got some shit I'm gonna say too.
I don't even know what I want to say honestly because it's more of a when the shit came out, you know, but far from fucking slow. Obviously, they got a working partnership with WWE. It's endorsed through pretty much everybody, Elon, Trump, all them. You know, they trying to make everything wise political. When wrestling doesn't need to be political, but they gonna mix it with that. UFC, everything. All that shit is one big ass net. No matter whether you want to see something from politics or you don't, you ain't have a single choice about that shit. But we don't get into that on four ropes. We don't do that shit here. I more or less want to see now how they gonna do this whole reform because soon as she popped up on the screen, all you just see in the comments racist, 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 racist. And it's like it's the same shit for when Hulk Hogan pop up, you know, and that's his legacy at this point now. Racist, 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 racist. What are they gonna do to keep that other viewership that they had still there now that you know controversy is back over there?
Here's how
Because
you fix that.
it'd be like crazy as hell if it came out that like Punk was racist or some shit like that. It's like, oh, what the fuck, you
See,
know?
Punk,
That's
I,
how it
I couldn't
was
see Punk
finding that
racist.
shit out.
I can't see Punk as
Right, at
racist.
all. But you know that's like saying that shit came out like that. It'd be
Mm-hmm.
hard to try to separate because at the time she had won the fucking world title, not just the women's world title, the men's world title.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
You know?
not only the face of your brand, that's the face of your company.
Exactly.
That shit happened, and now you try to basically erase that for that time, but she back now. So
What do you
how?
do?
Yeah, where do you go from re-signing with all that controversy to like, oh, okay, you know, it's okay for her to be in the spotlight again.
You know, this is how you fuck how you fix the Tessa Blanchard problem. If you got this woman back in Impact, knowing that she has a reputation for being a bully to the women in the locker room and shit like that, you make this shit be known. You here for a second chance. You are not here to tell anybody advice, or you should not be trying to fully like try to how do I say this? You should not be going in there fixing your mouth saying that these women ain't shit. Because I don't care if it's just a promo or none of that other shit, people are going to try to use that shit against her. They're going to try to be like, oh, this promo is a little bit too real. You sure she ain't got a problem with you sure she ain't back on her bullshit? Because Tessa Blanchard left
Yeah, because I mean,
Impact with a very,
same way
very
she
bad
left. Yeah.
reputation. She left with a reputation of this woman is a cancer, this woman is entitled, this woman thinks she deserves everything in a fucking book just because she got some muscles. So if
You
you're
know, it's
going to
funny
put her
that
back on that,
they kind of line up with how they say Punk essentially minus the muscles, but
hmm
you know,
so it's just like
and
if
then they
you're
try to
going
go
to
on
give her a
that part.
chance and you're going to try to make her seem like this, this changed woman and shit like that, don't have her coming back just beating up and then just telling these women they ain't shit or nothing like that because it's not going to help your case on Impact Wrestling. Now, if she's
No, no,
back and
no.
she's, I seen the match or two on the independent scene and shit like that. She seems to have a very more clean finisher. She's got a clean build now. Like she's not just a muscularly strong, just dominant person. She's lost a lot of that muscle mass.
Yeah,
So it's kind of
but I
like
mean,
you're
you got to
not
learn
getting
how
the
to hone
same.
that with the craft.
Exactly. So it's like you're not getting. I get we're not getting the same Tessa Blanchard. We're not getting the strong armed. The only woman to hold the men's world heavyweight championship in that company.
Right.
We are getting a new version of this. So if this new version does not work out within a year, this was a waste of time.
I
This
mean,
was a
we'll be
waste of
revisiting
your
this on
fans.
a episode in next December.
Like this could be a make or break for TNA. A lot of people wanted to see her come back. I can see that. A lot
Yes.
of people thought that she should stay away for a while until the heat come off of her. Is it too early? Who knows? We'll end up seeing in a couple
And
of
I feel
years
like
and
it's
then
kind of
go
in the
back.
middle because since everything has happened, it hasn't really been too much reported on it. But it's like, and nobody forgets, especially with the internet. The internet not gonna let you forget anything that you've said, done, anything like that in public whatsoever. Whether you do it in private and that shit comes out too,
Exactly.
still, it's like, hey, you
Because
did that shit.
a normal fan might forget. But you know who never forgets? Pepperidge Farm. Pepperidge Farm never forgets. Pepperidge Farm don't remember,
You know, this
don't
fucking
forget that
Petridge
goddamn
Farm.
tweet that woman said when she said
Why
Tessa
are you
Blanchard was
trying
a
to get
bully.
us sponsored by Petridge Farm?
Well, nigga, I'm in the
What's up with
mood
you
for
and Petridge Farm?
well, nigga, for some reason I want a Milano cookie. I don't know. Nigga, maybe that's the case. Milano cookie and some milk.
All
But
right, so just put it out there right now. Petridge Farm, get at us.
come on, sponsor us, bro. Well, you can put the
You
Four Ropes
know,
logo on the cookie.
I, I
Come
would
on now.
we promote some cookies. You know, I make merch.
I'm just saying. We can talk about that,
I can
but
print
we don't
I can print your shirts up right there for you.
see. But
I got a whole to go kit.
exactly.
Like I popped up with that to go kit at work to make a shirt one day, and they didn't realize like I only needed like four things for real. As long as I got the whole thing cut out, give me 10 minutes, and I got you like five shirts right there.
Exactly. And just wait for the merch and everything like that, y'all. Just because when the merch drop and everything, it's gonna be some probably the best merch in wrestling podcast culture. Just because we work on this and we come up with designs, we always in the lab talking about this stuff. So the merch this year in
Yeah, that shit
2025 and stuff,
24/7.
we plan on moving big. And especially speaking on big, the last thing we are gonna mention before we get up out of here, you guys who are finishing this video, we just want to go ahead and let you guys know we appreciate the support and we appreciate everything that you're doing, liking, subscribing, just making sure that you see us and you're locked into the content that we're providing. We on the deadline to 100. We're doing pretty good. 2025 is our year. But next week's episode, we are going to have a wrestling guest from the independent scene, a 17-year career. And we are going to have our special guest, Fantana,
Yes, sir.
next week on this show for an interview. This is probably going to be one of the most interesting interviews because, I think a lot of people forget that luchador wrestling is what it is just because, most people see it and go, oh, luchador wrestling, you know, they only
It's
think of a
really the
few guys.
simple-minded ones that don't really think about who we've gotten from that style of pro wrestling. It's like you would never have heard of a Rey Mysterio Jr., Eddie Guerrero, pretty much anybody that went down to Mexico to hone that craft. Shit, Amazing Red, anybody. You would never heard of them had they not went there or learned from there and came all the way over.
Exactly.
And pretty much even with the interview going to next week, it's like if you haven't really seen some of his work, give it a look. He definitely got something that's well more to offer. It's not just that oh, it's another guy in a mask. Like no, he has a whole different aura to it.
Exactly. And him being inside of wrestling and him having, a good amount of stories and everything, and he's currently a champion. So so basically we're bringing a champion on to the show. So I'm
Right.
pretty excited for us to interview Fantana. You know, we got our questions for him. The 20-minute hot seat will be returning again. Since you guys enjoyed that, having us have him just randomly go through a group of questions that's not really all about wrestling. So we pretty excited for that. Other than that, it was a two-man podcast today, but we are going to have another episode of a side quest here shortly. That's probably going to premiere either Tuesday or Wednesday. Just stick to the channel and everything like that. You'll end up finding that video here shortly this week. So two videos this weekend. We might do a third. We might have all
Yeah,
four boys
it
back
may
this
be a
week.
third if if plans go to head, there will be a third video for sure. But for
Exactly.
sure,
So
be on the lookout for two videos this week.
exactly. So three videos this week. Uh,
Good
Just
chance.
saying. We
Good
trying to get
chance.
y'all that content out like we said we is. So until then, though, everybody, I'm Jay the Kid, and right here we got LC from 773. Anything else you want to mention?
More than anything, definitely be on the lookout. Coming soon, Spotify, Apple Music, Four Ropes Full Podcast. We will have our pod pretty much on all platforms. Even for our people that be on SoundCloud. If you know of some other sites where you want to be able to listen to the pod, let us know. We'll definitely figure out a way to get us on there. Even with moving forward, going into 2025, we're taking orders for pretty much all custom gear. All hoodies are going to start, well, yeah, pretty much all hoodies for the remaining next few quarters. I'm going to be at a base layer 40. Whatever you pretty much want on it, just let us know. Even vinyl designs. We come up with a logo for you. We got some different package deals that'll be being pushed out in the near future. So stay on the lookout between all pages. Visionary has some stop motions that he's going to have ready to promote more going down the line. So definitely stay tuned for Visionary.
Hmm.
No, just stay posted. We got some stuff.
Exactly. And then Broke Boy Bray is gonna be streaming here shortly. I believe it's gonna
Oh
be
yeah,
on Twitch. So y'all follow that because it's gonna be some wrestling content. It's gonna be some video games and shit like that, And we might get all of the boys to hop on and be able to, give y'all a full, just the full four ropes night, where we play wrestling games or just a little Call of Duty or whatever. Be on the lookout for
yeah.
all of
Because
these
we
things
still
that we
got
got
that 2K
planned.
challenge. It's a 2K challenge that we're doing pretty soon. Me and the guys talked about it. The hint is who can get the most downloads on their character. We're all going to be We're all gonna have to make a character, do the move set, entrance, the whole 9 yards, all the way down to the smallest of taunts.
Exactly.
And we're gonna all have a match. Everybody get a chance to play as their own character, go about it that way. After that, we're gonna upload those characters to the cloud and let everybody, go through community creations. Whoever get the most downloads in say a month or two, we'll do something for that person. Winner rights for questions. Loser probably get like a 20-minute hot seat where they gotta answer questions or something like that. We'll
Oh,
come up with a
nice.
punishment for it.
Just make sure y'all back here at Four Ropes Full on the channel to check it out. But until then, remember, we want to always and forever thank you
Thank
for
you
wrestling.
for wrestling.
And we out.
Peace.